Okay, either we have a flight delay or flight cancellation. You can never avoid that. The airline will always, of course, say it's weather related. Most of them are just not true. Um, okay.
Welcome back to How to Optimize the 72-Hour Weekend.
Travel on two main things. Number one, for scientific conferences, where the scientists meet and deliver lectures, notes, and deliver research results and deliver this is what we are doing. This is the result is exciting. And as an oncologist, there are a number of that I do every year. One is ASCO, is always in Chicago, first week of June. We just finished one. ASH is second week of December, moves around. AACR is second week in April, moves around. Europe in Europe, ESMO is always in August, it moves around. So based on that, there are a lot of I just mentioned about four now. There are more than that. More than that. Okay. Then there's another one that you have to do regarding my own company and the study that I'm doing in the hospitals. We call them clinical trial sites. So I will have to travel to the principal investigator at MD Anderson in Houston, Memorial in New York, Cooper Hospital in Philadelphia, and City of Hope in Los Angeles, um, Prisca in Chicago, all over. Okay, and Buffalo, of course, Park over there, and I go to Florida, Moffitt Cancer Center in Tampa. So that's my job. Actually, that job takes me all around in that place. So that's another section of traveling. The other traveling has to be with meeting with corporate leaders, executives, investors. So there's bio executive, there's bio CEO, there's JP Morgan Healthcare Week. There is a meeting with investors in their places where they may be, Seattle, Chicago, Michigan, all over that they may be. So those are three categories of traveling for work, for business that I do. The first one I said is about leisure in terms of, pleasing your employees and say thank you and making sure you maintain the collegiality and camaraderie and making sure that they feel, yes, my contribution to the company matters. Yeah. It's also benefit. Travel on to
So it begs a massive question. What does it take to keep moving forward, keep traveling when the hurdles keep stacking up? So in this episode, it isn't just about navigating logistics. It's about the travel related to a deep, unstoppable passion for achieving a goal. Because when you're fueled by a true mission, a delayed flight or a chaotic airport isn't a reason to turn back. It's just another checkpoint on the road to the breakthrough. So that brings us to today's incredible special guest. He is a researcher, a brilliant founder, and a man on an urgent mission to fight health-related disease and find a cure. When he travels, he isn't just packing a bag for a casual trip. He is navigating today's chaotic transit grid to attend high-stakes investor events, securing the vital funding that turns medical breakthroughs into reality. Welcome, Tunde Lawrence. And once again, we'll be handing our microphone over to our brilliant moderator. He has been a golf writer in Myrtle Beach for 33 years, spending the first 29 at the town's daily newspaper and the last 4 as the editor-in-chief and sole content provider for On the Green magazine, which was founded back in 1980. On top of that, he is a true insider in the golf package business, helping individuals and executive groups book the ultimate golf vacation. So once again, we welcome Alan Blondin. Before we get started, just a few housekeeping items. We will be having a live Q&A following the interview, so any of our guests that would like to participate, please do. And make sure to hit that subscribe button right now and click the links below in the description box. Okay, Alan, take it away.
Yeah, thank you, Tonya. Yes, so as Tonya mentioned, I'm based in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and I put together golf packages for generally usually groups. Um, and they're very customizable with several different amenities that are available, but it's generally lodging and golf combined into one for a package. We have a lot of different options for those packages, low end, middle end, high end. You can play the best golf courses we have. You can stay on the ocean and in really nice hotels or large condos, or you can play the more affordable courses and stay in generally would be golf course villas or condos, which would be more affordable than the ocean fronts. So yeah, and of course Myrtle Beach is known as the golf capital of the world. So we have about 80 golf courses on a 90-mile stretch of beach. So we have everything for everyone as far as golf goes, and lodging is real similar as well with pretty much every option you want. So I know we're talking a bit about travel today, of course. So we talk about people from Myrtle Beach going to New York City and people from New York City coming to Myrtle Beach. And obviously, you're getting away from what you are coming from and going to something that's very different. In the case of New York City, it's a fast city, a big city, and you come to Myrtle Beach, and it's more of a beach, golf, boating, a more relaxed atmosphere. And of course, people from Myrtle Beach that are used to that will want to experience more of the fast nightlife and the many things to do in New York City. So, we're that's kind of the connection between the two places. You've got the dichotomy of living situations and lifestyles. Um, so yeah, as far and in travel wise, there are direct flights to and from Myrtle Beach to New York City. Both LaGuardia and Newark have direct flights. I know Delta and United have direct flights. They're usually very affordable and they're 2 hours long. So it's as easy a travel as you're going to find once you, of course, navigate the airports in New York and Newark. Myrtle Beach's airport isn't very hard. It's fairly small and easy to get in and out of. Um, so yeah, the and of course our guests today. I'm very interested to hear more about Tunde and the research that they do, and again they tie that into travel a bit. So Tunde, if you want to take over and tell us a little bit about what you guys do.
Thank you, Alan, and thank you, listeners, and welcome to people who are joining us online. And, thank you for the invitation, Tonya. Um, Glad to be able to represent sector of the biotech industry in the whole country, specifically the Northeast, and this time New York, New Jersey area. My company is developing a drug to treat relapse, resistant, refractory hematological malignancies, specifically leukemia and lymphoma. We have a product in there that's gotten FDA approved or IND, which means we can start to test this drug in human beings who actually has the disease. We have selected 4 sites: MD Anderson, Houston, Memorial, New York City, Cancer Institute of New Jersey, and the Cooper University Hospital down in Philly. That's where we'll be testing those patients on those drugs. The drug has shown enormous efficacy in an animal study, and that's why the FDA looked at all the totality of all our animal study and said, yes, you can now test it in human beings. So we've gotten that approval. But before we start to try it in human beings, as good as it could be, we need to manufacture the drug. And manufacturing of the drug require a higher standard because we are putting it in human beings. The one you have in animals, we call it GLP, good laboratory practices. The standard is just a little bit lower. But once you are putting it in human being, you need a full GMP, good manufacturing practices status for that. And we've chosen CDMO, Contract Drug Manufacturing Organization. Their name is ResiBio, is going to manufacture it for us. Unfortunately, because the drug is protein, not monoclonal antibody, not small molecules. It's a large molecule, it's protein, it's like vaccines. It requires a lot of money to actually manufacture the drug. So if I'm going to test the drug in patients, I need to actually provide the drug. So I'm in the process of raising money to actually manufacture the drug. Now it's going to cost me $2 to $3 million to manufacture what will cover me to get to the end of first phase in human beings. And once I'm able to raise that money, I'm in the process now. So if anyone wants to chip in, you're welcome. The company is Larada Therapeutics. Our website is rudimentary, and if anyone is interested, my contact is Ms. Tonya and the organizers here, and we can talk about that later. So if you have relative loved ones who died of cancer, especially, this is not for breast cancer, this is not for prostate cancer. This is specifically for leukemia and lymphoma. It's not a drug that cures all diseases, no. It's only for those who have exhausted all options in the treatment that's currently available for leukemia and lymphoma. Doctors have told them, you know what, maybe you should take you to hospice, maybe you should use palliative care, or maybe we should, go and rewrite your will. This drug are meant for those people. We give them a new lease of life. The drug actually kills cancer cells. The drug actually eliminates leukemic cell. In scientific world, we say it induces apoptosis, specifically for cancer cell, leaves normal cell alone. That's the difference between this drug and chemotherapy. Chemotherapy affects all cells equally, kills all cells. Okay, but this one is called targeted therapeutic. It targets cancer cell and kills cancer cell, leaves normal cell alone. So that's where we are. And because of that, I need a lot of traveling, business traveling, which could also involve leisure traveling. And I have to travel to the site. I have to travel to investors meeting. I have to travel to scientific conference meeting to announce my product, announce my trial, announce my science, announce my breakthrough. And at the same time, spread the knowledge of this drug to the entire community. That will be done within the next 6 months. Hopefully, I'll be able to raise enough money to manufacture the drug and start the trial. Now, the child that works must also play. When you're traveling for business, you may also want to, you know what, let me take a side to check out this, check out that. So golf may be one of them. I know how to play golf. I think I practiced 1 or 2 shots before, but my notion, which may be wrong, as it may be, is that golf is meant for the rich guys. I may be wrong in that aspect. Because I live in New Jersey, and by statistics, by the data available, New Jersey actually have more golf courses than any other state in the country, as small as the state is, because we are crowded. So New Jersey is crowded around New York City in the north and around Philadelphia in the south. Everything in between is almost empty. So we are not just the most densely populated. We also have a Greek land. We have a lot, gazillion winery, distillery, and meaderies. Okay. I'm advertising for New Jersey here at this time for leisure traveling as well, is that we also have a big city, Atlantic City, in the middle of nowhere. We also have we are one of the largest producer of cranberry and blueberry for the whole country. So as crowded as it may be, we have one of the largest federal government reservation and pine lands. So whenever the utility poles fall down and they need to take another tree, Guess where they go? Go to the pineland, cut down some trees, and then you have your electricity pole or cable pole, whatever the utility pole is. So, and we have a lot of resort land and resort places as well. So, but we need somebody to organize where to go, how to go. I want to focus on my science and research. I want to focus on developing this drug to treat patients who otherwise have no option. Someone else will have to take care of business traveling plus leisure traveling plus actually working and having fun at the same time. Thank you so much. And by the way, I'm a physician scientist. I have MD and PhD. I'm an hematology oncologist by training. And my PhD is in pharmacology. Thank you.
So, Tunde, I did have a quick question for you. So are any of your current drugs readily available to the public at the moment, and or are they still in the research stage? And I think you said you did get FDA approval for at least one of your drugs.
Yes, the drug has been approved by the FDA to conduct phase one, to conduct studies in human beings.
Okay.
When we conduct those studies in human beings, we take the data result back to the FDA. The FDA would then look at them and said, okay, yes, you can now sell them to the public. We are not at that point yet. The point we are now is actually very great. We are no longer preclinical. We are no longer animal data. Look, any drug can treat cancer in animals. Okay, but when it comes to human being, is another. So the FDA has given us approval to actually test it, put it, and try it in human being. It will be available when you participate. Anyone who is participating in the trials, because it's free of charge to them, but we need to manufacture the drug. If it's a small molecule that I can go into my garage and mix oxygen plus carbohydrates and some more carbon dioxide here and there, here is aspirin for you, you can go. Okay. It's not that case. If it's a small protein like monoclonal antibody, I can do regenerative, I can do re-engineering, okay, and manufacture that easily. But it's a whole protein. It's like penicillin, it's like vaccine. This is why it actually kills the cancer cell. Okay. All the drugs we've been trying before, most of them are small molecules, most of them are effective for a while, and then the tumor become resistant. And that's what we have up until now. But this drug is meant for those resistant, those refractory, those who have relapsed, and I've said, doctors ran out of options and said, we're going to put you on palliative. This drug is meant for them. It will be available to public. Once I manufacture the drug, we're going to advertise where the clinical trials are taking place so people can go there, their relative, their loved one can go to that site, can call all the doctors, can call on the peer, can even call on us, and they will go there and participate. We are also going to employ the services of the group of people we call them patient advocacy group. Lymphoma Leukemia Society, Blood Cancer, Stand Up to Cancer, American Cancer Society, to inform everyone that this study is taking place in so and so place. Go there, go register and participate if you think you have this disease.
Okay, thank you, Tunde, and I applaud the work that you and your company are doing to benefit people's lives.
If you're listening out there and you're feeling the weight of the work week, remember you don't have to do the heavy lifting yourself. We're here to help.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Tonya and Tunde. I'll be back in touch as well. I'm intrigued by the work you guys are doing, so I'll follow up on that.
Yeah, please do. And for everyone listening as well, um, it doesn't help the brain for you to just keep working and working and no relaxation, no enjoyment, no having fun. It also die your break back a little bit. It's like you're studying for an exam. You study and study and study. It comes to a time, you just want to take a fresh air. Just stand up, walk around, take a breather, and then come back. In this case, this is what we do for life. So we need a break. And while you are actually doing your professional work, you need the help of people like Tonya to take care of this, where you're going to relax your brain, have fun, rejuvenate, come back again, In fact, when you write a document and you went on vacation and you come back, you reread the document, then you know, oh, did I write this? You see a lot of places that you have to review and re-record and edit all of it because your brain is refreshing again. So thank you, Alan, for joining us at this time. Hope to see you again, and please follow up. And Tonya is going to be here. So Tonya, thank you. It's up to you now.
Yeah, thank you. And you mentioned Tanya. I come in that place as well, as far as
Mm,
helping
fantastic.
people rejuvenate and take a trip, come to Myrtle Beach, enjoy the beach, enjoy golf, possibly get out boating and fishing, and just enjoy the relaxed lifestyle for 4 or 5 days before you get back into the rat race of New York City. So I
Thank
appreciate you
you.
guys. I'll see you. I'll see you soon.
So we opened up the show talking about travel delays and hiccups. Do you have any advice for our viewers about your business travel and your experience? I think you were talking about different cities that had different investor conferences. Could you just list off some of those locations and maybe give us a story about where you were able to overcome a travel hurdle?
Well, there's been a lot of travel all everywhere. If you travel as much as I do, everything doesn't go well all the time. And the irony of the situation is, if the airline is late, you're screwed. If you are late, you're screwed. Either way, the consumer, the customers, is always the one that gets screwed. So you have to make it through the TSA. You have to. It's a Oh, okay. I went to Netherlands in this summer, about a month ago, and I was supposed to connect a flight from Netherlands to Copenhagen, then to Newark on Fly SAS. So I missed that flight, not because I wasn't at the airport. I was at the airport, but I couldn't get through the security retinue on time. And they have another flight 2 hours later that is going to Copenhagen. So I was hoping to catch that flight and join my original flight back to New York. The flight to Copenhagen this time was also delayed. And the one going to New York was not delayed. It left on time. So the moment my plane, actually, this is fact, this is a real story. The moment my plane from Amsterdam touched down in Copenhagen, the one I'm supposed to take to New York, it was just taxing off the airline. So I missed that. I'm now stuck in a no man's land in Copenhagen, which is supposed to be a stopover to another flight. I have no option, nothing else to do. I have to purchase a ticket right there at the airport with REF. What's the name of this airline? Icelandic airline. Okay. That's the first time I've ever been to REF. They call it REF Reykjavik. That's the capital of Iceland. So, which took me again. I landed in New York at 11:45 p.m. on that day. And before I could make it to New Jersey, I'm looking at 3 o'clock in the morning. So this is just one example because I went there for investors meeting. The other examples are usually in Chicago every first week of June. There's ASCO meeting, American Society of Clinical Oncologists. And because all oncologists all over the world descends on Chicago at the same time, everything doesn't always go well, especially when you now have that. Only one airline dominates Chicago, which is United Airlines. And if you are not going to Chicago directly on United Airlines, you are not likely to have a direct airline. So you have to stopover. And stopover is not always as smooth as it used to be. So that's why they put at least 2 hours in between. They check your bag, they reload the bag to other things. Sometimes you land and you're where you're going and your bag is not with you. It's still at the, stopover, one stopover station, as the case may be. In New Jersey here, our airport is 60%, 65% of our airport is dominated by United Airlines. So if you want a direct flight to anywhere, your best bet is United Airlines. However, the issue with that is that if you are taking an early flight or any flight from Newark, New Jersey, you are subject to delays and cancellation because it's the original. But if I'm taking a flight on United, say to Pittsburgh, for instance, where they don't have a hub, if it's a first flight in the morning, it will never, never be late. Why? Because the crew of that airline slept in the hotel and they're coming back to that airport very early the following morning. They're not going to miss that flight. It's not going to be delayed. It's not going to be canceled. So one of my experiences is that the flights that will never be delayed or canceled are flights that are not in the hub of that particular airline. So if you are in Atlanta, not Delta. If you are in Newark, New Jersey, not United. If you are in Dallas, not American Airlines. Any other one. So because their problems start from their own hub, as the case may be. The other thing that may happen, or that has actually happened, is that some destinations are served only and only by one airline. I went to give a lecture at Baylor University in Waco, Texas. It's only American Airlines, just one airline that serves Waco, Texas. So if you miss that, you are done. If the price is not suitable for you, you are in for it. If you don't, I mean, once you have a monopoly, once an airline has a monopoly of an airport or a town, you are at their mercy in terms of price, in terms of time, in terms of their schedule. You just have to think about that alongside. Unless you want to rent a car and then drive 2 hours to or 3 hours to Dallas or down south to Houston, it's just not really. So where we have scientific conferences, yes, please.
Well, what conference have you attended that
Yeah,
you found to be the most impactful for you in your purpose and your goal?
yes, I've attended just one in San Diego. It's uh bio conference. It's a business, it's a entrepreneur, it's a biotech industry organization. They organize this at San Diego, and usually my airline, which is a membership of United Airlines, just because I live here, and they have no direct flight to San Diego. They have to San Francisco. They have to LA. They have to Sacramento, but directly to San Diego, not. So we have to take one stopover in San Francisco before we get there, or Los Angeles before you get there. They have a direct flight, however, to San Diego, but it's like once a week or twice a week. So, but every day to San Francisco, every day to LA. And in San Francisco, United Airlines has a hub. We call it uh, this is where they host all their travelers traveling international or traveling local and long distance traveling. So they have a very good lounge in there that you can go there and do. And I went there and I slept off. So they were supposed to wake me up, and maybe they woke me. I didn't wake anyway. I slept off and they missed my flight. So, but because San Francisco is also another hub for United, they were able to put me on the next flight. Obviously, not free. I'm going to charge me for that anyway. So that's one I did recently, as about 3 weeks ago. So my scientific conference and professional conferences goes all over the country, in fact, all over the world. The four that I attend regularly every year is AACR, American Association of Cancer Research. ASH is American Society of Hematology. ASCO is American Society of Clinical Oncologists. And ESMO is European Society of Medical Oncology. So regularly I attend all those ones. And the only one that doesn't move around is the ASCO is always in Chicago. Every other one's different cities in different year.
Well, it's very interesting. Some of the things that you mentioned in terms of the airports, they've expanded with these lounge areas that can be very accommodating. I think of Denver, Colorado as their airport, is very spacious and provides from your, 2-star level lounge area for anyone to take advantage of. They have very wide couches and chairs for people who are facing cancellations or delays. To the airlines have their VIP lounges. So it's from the most basic offering of lounges in the airport to the most exclusive. But you mentioned that you missed your flight because you weren't able, you overslept. So I guess that's one of the hiccups or the drawbacks that you might kind of prepare for ahead of time.
Yes, I blame myself for that, even though there's a big screen there that tells you which flight and which time. But if you're sleeping, you're going to see that. I have my cell phone in my hand. I can as well set up an alarm for myself to be able to wake up. I can tell the service people at the door to please, it is my flight. I'm going to take a nap, please, wake me up. So I blame myself for that. But regardless, like I said, either it's the airline that is delayed or cancel, or you're the one that's delayed, the customer is always at the receiving end. You're always left to carry the bag. Screwed up. So, and they booked me. I mean, I'm grateful they booked me for the next flight, but obviously that's an added finance and money in there. Even though I have a membership, I'm a mileage member, and they will tell you this point and this point and that this point. The point you cannot actually use it as you may want to use it because there are lots of conditions and terms, and then you have to get to maybe gold standard and silver. They put a lot of levels and this thing in there. Even to qualify for the VIP lounge, it's either you buy an annual membership of something or you're an international. There's a lot of conditions that are there. I mean, look, I know they are corporate business, they're in there to make money, but they should not always forget, they should always remember that their primary goal is actually to serve the public. While you are doing that, you make profit, but now they make that profit to be the number one goal. And don't get me wrong, I'm a business, I'm an entrepreneur. I know there's going to be return on investment. For instance, I'm advocating for to raise money from investors now to manufacture this drug. I intend to give them at least 30 times their investment in under 2 years, or even 40 times their investment, because the company now is worth about $20 million. At the end of phase one, the company will be worth about $300 million. So with a small investment, you're going to get 40 or 50 times return on investment. So I get that. But when you are at a certain stage that the drug is now available to the public, then the um, notion, the policy should be shifted onto serving the public first,
Well, that's
rather
kind of
than.
what I wanted to get at in terms of your travel, your sense of determination. You seem to have quite a few stories about facing hiccups, missing flights and other obstacles. Yet you're quite resilient and you believe in your project, and that says a lot.
Well, thank you very much. As it is now, the reason to be resilient is one or two things. Number one, the airline is still the fastest across the country. And by data, is actually the safest. So if you are driving yourself on the road, you think you are in control or in charge. It's actually much more dangerous than being on the plane. The second one that's a little bit easier and the safety record also is good is by train, but train will not get there on time as well.
Right? We don't
The
have the
third
high
one,
speed rail yet. We really need
we don't have a high speed rail. We are not in
desperately
the
need
kind of
that.
China.
Yeah.
We are even the European country, France has TVG and all the rest, and the TUV in Germany is excellent as well. But we don't have that here because we kept fighting on infrastructure, something that really doesn't matter. And then I don't want to go into that. So, um, flights and by airline is still the safest in the country as it is. Where people, and there are some people who never take a airline for whatever, it's because of the turbulence in the air. Some people cannot, withstand that. They just, and the other case in medical and biology, some people have what we call air sickness, and they just get on air and they start nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. It's all over onto them. But apart from that, it is still the safest. So you can rely on them to do that. But in terms of accuracy and timely, airline is the worst. No doubt about that. If you are driving your own car, you know when to get out, you know how long it take you to, so you could give yourself some time and get out and get to where you're going on time. Even though there were 34,000 accidents on American roads last year, just last year. If that happens in airline, it will be news for all over. So that's one to be resilient. The other thing to be resilient is that when you have a business, you have a conference, you have leisure, you have to get there. And you are not going to cancel your business meeting or conference meeting because of, so that's another reason to be resilient. The last point I'll say here to be resilient is that when you look at all things being equal, you have to be resilient and take the airline, because if you take your bus or Greyhound or your car, for instance, you have to stop for gas. If it takes more than a day, you have to sleep in an hotel. If I'm driving from here to LA, that would take me about 3 or 4 days, if not more, probably a week. You have to gas up, you have to stop, you have to sleep in a hotel, you have to do all that. An airline, that is just in one swoop, 5 hours the other way and 6 hours the other way from coast to coast. So that's why those are the reasons to be resilient and still believe in the airline. Just have to prop them up to do good.
Yeah.
Be
But how often do you
Unfortunately,
face?
our own in New Jersey here, our airport is one of the biggest airports in the country that has the worst record of timeliness. Sorry, please.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, how often do you face going over budget when you travel and you have these delays and other hiccups? Does
The
it?
over budget is almost all the time, because the flight you booked yesterday, you come back today where a gas price has gone up, so we have to jack up the price. You miss your flight, then they jack it up, and for another one. You want to change your flight route again, then they have to jack it up for rebooking you again. You want to change your seat from economy to. They have various. If you go there and you want to pick a seat on the online, then the one is $27, the other is 37, the other is 87. You even have one that is 150. Then you book a flight, and they say, well, this is business, this is first class, this is business, and this is economy. And the price kept going up and up and up. And you realize that you are still on the same plane. You're going to be from one destination to the other is still the same. So price always overshadow, overshoot, exceed what is
Yeah.
planned for
What would
year
you say
in,
an
year
average?
out.
Do you have an average number there? Have you ever
I will
done
be
the
looking
number?
for at least 20%. So in my company, if I budget $100 for, I'm just saying, it's no ticket for $100 anyway. If I budget $100 for a ticket this year, add 15% to that. So make it next year to be $115. So whatever you do between 15 and 20%, add it to the budget for the next year, for airline, for traveling, for accommodation. And we are not budgeting airline alone here. Hotels, the same thing. They kept changing and increasing, and where we have this, we have that facility, we have that. Most of the facility, you are not going to use it before you go. Well, we have swimming pool, we have this and that. I'm going to sleep over here a night. I'm going for a lecture in the morning. I don't have time for swimming pool, but the package you get, the price you get is including all the facility in that particular hotel. So it's a five-star hotel. They treat you like a king. Half of what they provide to you, you are not going to need it. Just like we have on our phones. If you buy a high-end phone, you probably will use 30 to 40% of the capacity of that phone. The remaining 60%, you may never use it. So hotels too are doing the same thing. Then if you are taking Uber, or some hotel has shuttle, and that shuttle price, they said is free. Nothing is free. That shuttle is built into your hotel price. But if you take Uber, Uber price, if you notice, for the past 5 years, Uber price has been going up and up and up and up again. So those are the reasons to actually add 10 to 15% or even 20% to your annual budget in terms of travel.
So I have just one last question, if you don't mind, Tunde. It goes back to your project of discovery with curing cancer, certain cancers. So we're looking at how, you know, you're looking for funding, and you're focused on the human cancer, treating that and solving those illnesses related to that, correct? But you also mentioned that currently your drug can treat animals, that it has
Correct.
been FDA approved or whatever approval process that you have to go through. Yeah, just considering all of the time, energy, costs, and your passion to accomplish this goal, what kind of consideration have you considered giving more attention to that animal side of the drug treatment?
Yes and no. The reason is that this will actually treat lymphoma in dogs, just so everybody knows. So, and if it does that in dog, it definitely do that in human being because genetically we are not far away from a dog. In fact, dogs are better than a lot of us in society. I'm sorry to say that, but anyway, so because my profession is an hematology oncologist for human
I'll have to
beings.
edit that out.
Thank you. Thank you. Please do. My focus is on human beings. Okay, I'm not going to now divert this company and say, okay, you focus on selling this drug to vets who are treating lymphoma in dog, and then take the profit from there and do that. There are some people who do that by themselves, for themselves, and on that. So my focus now that actually if the FDA has not given me approval to test it in human being, that'll be another story. But the FDA has given us approval for the IND to test it in human being, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that instead of diverting and getting focused on. Again, in investment and in entrepreneurship, you focus and you do what you know, what you are trained on. And since this is what I know, this is my profession, and that's what I'm focusing on. And that's where you do best all the time. For instance, your profession, you are doing fantastic. So, so I'm not going to ask you to, for instance, run a bank or run a pharmaceutical company. What you know, what you are good at, what you are
Okay,
trained to do, usually we do best in
your
those
human
areas.
research, that's your specialty.
Exactly.
Human research.
Exactly.
I understand. Now, is there any opportunity for leasing that patent and drug design to the pet industry or
Yes, there is a
veterinary
sub-license.
industry?
There's a sub-license that goes to another company actually now, and because this was structured in such a way, this product was, we have worldwide exclusive license from Rutgers University. It was discovered by a professor still on the faculty of Rutgers University. So we license the human usage alone. The animal usage is divested and licensed to another company. We have no relation whatsoever. So for all human usage, we have the license, we have the exclusivity worldwide, and the patent thereof belongs to us as well.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Tunde. And we also thank Alan for stepping out of the office and sharing their incredible journey with us today. To all listeners, thank you for tuning in to this episode of All New York Fun Tours, the 72-hour weekend. Head down to the description right now. Click the link or visit allnewyorkfuntours.com to explore our exclusive packages. Also, you'll see more information on Tunde and how to reach out to him.